So my name is Natalie. I am a master sexologist. I have a Bachelor of Arts in counseling with a human sexuality major. So I started off with a lot of physical information, right? The mechanics of sex and how tab A fits into slot B and all of that information. And what I found was it's very male dominated, right? Can you guys identify with that? A lot of the information that comes out, you're like, are you kidding me? That would never work. Like, a man must have written that information because it definitely was not a woman. So I set out meeting with women, talking with women, and giving them a much more feminine approach to sex and intimacy and sexuality. And it grew, and I got more gals talking to me, and now I actually do one-on-one work with gals. I do group programs. In January of 2015, I've got a program coming out. It's called the Red Dress Riot. And what it is giving yourself permission to have those red dress moments in your life. And riot is to have a vibrant color, to have joyful passion. There are a couple of definitions of riot that are like a violent uprising. Well, I don't want you to be violent, but I do want you to grab hold of life by those ovaries and say, we are going to have a party, because we are an amazing group of women, and women change the world. If you see any significant shift on the planet, I guarantee you there is a woman at the core of that, and she stands very strong and very tall and very proud in her power. So we're going to talk a little bit about sex and the power and the mindset of sex. Because Sandy did talk about stress, right? How many of us have a really long day at work, and on the way home, I don't ever ask people to put up their hands. There's always one woman in the group that's like, oh God, that's me. She puts her hand up. She's like, that's me for sure. But you know, you don't have to put your hand up because I won't make you self-identify in the group. But you know, you're driving home, you've had a long, hard day at work, and you kind of flirted a little bit maybe with your partner through text or email, that kind of thing. And you start driving home and you're like, I bet he hasn't done the dishes. I bet you I'm gonna get home and the sink's gonna be filled with dishes and the kids are gonna be a mess, and I asked him to put those goldfish crackers away, and I guarantee you those goldfish crackers are gonna be on that counter, and you're having this huge argument all the way home, right? All the way home, and you're back, and I'm gonna say this, and then he's gonna say that, and then I'm gonna say this, and you're just creating this argument in your head, and your stress levels are rising, and you're pissed off before you even walk in the door. And you know what? He may have done the dishes, but the goldfish crackers didn't get put away, and the kids are all over the place. But you're mad because you've already created this situation in your mind. And even though halfway through the day you're like, we're gonna fool around tonight. Yeah, I'm gonna go home and we're gonna put the kids in front of treehouse and put out the goldfish crackers and the yogurt tube, and then we're gonna go in the bedroom and lock the door, right? But you've already created this situation in your mind where you're so mad and you're so stressed out at your partner before you even walk in the door that desire and that want is totally crushed, right? And it's this vicious cycle that we get into as women because we want to be in charge and be in control and sort of direct where stuff goes. But the reality is, when it comes to sex and sexuality, it's kind of free-flowing. It's a lot like an abstract picture. And so when we want it to be this way and that way, but I have to have no stretch marks and I have to have a flat tummy, I tell you this, of all of the men that I've talked to and worked with, if you're naked, he has won the lottery. He is like, he's fist pumping inside his head and he's high-fiving his buddies because you're there naked. And so all of these things we create in our mind, sexy is a state of mind. We can decide to be in the mood. We can decide that we want to be intimate. With or without a partner, you should be having a really great sex life. If that is a Bob, a battery-operated boyfriend, or a Hal, a hand-assisted lover, if that is where your sex relationship is going on, it should still be really great. And we talk ourselves out of it all of the time, all of the time. And so I want to give you a little experiment so you can see that it really is your mind that decides whether or not you're going to have a great day or a bad day. So I want you to close your eyes and I want you to do a visualization with me. So you're walking into your fridge, into your kitchen, not into your fridge. You're walking into your kitchen, right? And you see your fridge there. And you're getting ready to make a drink for the evening. And you open your fridge door and you feel that cool blast of air come out of the fridge. And then you reach into the fridge and there's a beautiful plump lemon sitting on the shelf in your fridge. And you reach in and you pick up that lemon and you can feel that bumpy skin. You can feel how cold it is in your hand. And then you close the fridge door and you walk over to your counter and you pull out that beautiful sharp knife and you hear it coming out of the knife holder. And you set that lemon on the counter and you slice it open. And that scent of the lemon fills your nostrils. And then you take off a slice of lemon and you bring it up and you bite down into it. Now, whose mouth watered biting that lemon? Your unconscious mind does not know the difference between reality and fantasy. And you can decide how you want to feel about your sex, your sexuality, your intimacy. You get to decide. Medical issues and things like that aside, right? That's why we're here at this conference, is to learn how to address those concerns and those things that we're needing to deal with. Go see your doctor, have that physical, see your energy worker, change how you're eating. I would crawl through flaming coals for a glass of Coca-Cola, but I know that it's not good for me, right? So I make those choices and I decide where I want my energy to go. Do I want my energy to go to get in my van and driving down to 7-Eleven and buying cola? Or do I want that energy to be sitting with my kids and, you know, doing art or whatever it is? So we decide, our brain decides, and we are in control of what our sex and our sexuality and our intimacy is going to be like. And when you start getting into that spiral with your partner, he's going to say this, and then I'm going to say that, and then this is going to happen, stop that cycle and take a moment and pause, because you can change that conversation. And you can say, you know what, if the dishes are in the sink, it is what it is. And I had to learn to do that, because my husband is a Gemini, and I'm a Virgo. Yeah, so 9 days out of 10, I'd like to strangle him, because he is a ping pong ball all over the place, and I'm very linear. And so, you know, he's bouncing around doing his crazy thing, and I'm trying to plan stuff out. I'm like, could you just sit down for just 30 seconds and listen to what I'm trying to tell you? So we get to decide how we're going to approach our relationships and our intimacy. After all the medical things are dealt with, and after you've gotten your hormones balanced and your energy leveled out and all of those things, you can then start to engage in that really great sexual relationship. And my personal philosophy and what I work with my clients on is that I truly believe that sex and intimacy can get hotter and deeper and better over time. You don't get a little puppy and then in 10 years look at the little puppy and go, you know, you gained a bit of weight. You're not as cute as you were when you were like 6 weeks old, so I'm going to trade you out for a new one. You know, you don't do that with your kids. The only person we have that dynamic with is our intimate partner, our spouse.